Howdy, howdy, and welcome back to the channel. You got Digital Asset Hutch here, bringing you all you need to know about the digital asset and U.S. economy space. And welcome to week 3. You've made it. We're going to go ahead and talk about some more altcoins because I do think it's necessary. I think Bitcoin has been exhausted to the upside, and it needs some help to get the total crypto market cap through that 1 trillion market cap. I do think Bitcoin does typically lead the train, but sometimes you've seen altcoins give it that next leg up as like maybe a mini altcoin season like DeFi summer kind of gets the steam rolling. So let's go ahead and talk about why I think this is the case, and also possibly what could get us past it and get us through it. So let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin's price, which is coming in at 23,150, as well as Ethereum flirting with that 16,000, or sorry, not 16, 1600 range. And then as you look at some other ones, we have XRP coming in at 41 cents. We have Cardano coming in at 38 cents. We have Polygon or Matic coming in at $1.14. And as you can see, Bitcoin, besides Cardano and Matic, has been leading the charge. We have 26%, 21, 26, 32. And this is interesting, and kind of expected. If we do go ahead and pull up Bitcoin's graph real quick, we'll come back to coin market cap in a second. It has ran up. It's no surprise. All assets since the start of the year has only gone up. No one really knows why they haven't corrected yet. Maybe it's due to some of the GDP, maybe some of the CPI data, maybe the expected Fed funds rate hitting 0.25 basis points. Who really knows why they've only gone up? But a correction is due, just who knows when. Now, if we go ahead and pull up the volume profile, you can see some interesting things. Bitcoin has already rolled down its hill. Typically, the POC was around here, but you could make an argument it was here because, well, they're almost the same height. It's got to be barely. But once we crashed through that initial consolidation period before the FTX collapsed, as you can see right here, we had a little consolidation at where the previous all-time, or previous local high, not all-time, previous local high was, just because people probably bought there. They saw their funds initially collapsed by what, 20%, and they finally got whole and they're like, I'm out. So that's probably why we saw a little consolidation, a little choppiness right there. But then we instantly flew through the little empty gap and started consolidating again near another local high. So as you can see, Bitcoin's kind of already peaking at another local high. It's already kind of doing its work, making its way to 25K, but what will get it there? Well, possibly we need some money to flow into Ethereum and Cardano to get us above that mark. Because as you can see here, Ethereum is still making a higher mountain. It hasn't decided whether it wants to go back down to its POC and fill some of this range up to get a more secure bottom, or does it want to shoot back up to $2,000 and start forming another mountain? So this is why I say Bitcoin might need some help, because as you can see, Bitcoin's already decided to go down the Hilton. We might, or not, already has decided to go down the hill. It might come back and test that high again, but it's kind of already decided, oh, we're going up. As well as Ethereum, it's still wanting to decide, as Cardano isn't even at its point to decide yet. It's still trying to get there, which could be a good buy in the short term. Not financial advice, do your own research. There will be a video on Cardano Tuesday, so make a note on your calendar and stay tuned from that, because I am going to start incorporating some more altcoins onto this channel because they are important for the digital asset space. But as you can see, Cardano still does have some time to go before it can get there. Also, even Aave's on top of the mountain. I'm not sure which way I want to go. Do I want to fall down it and start performing some more consolidation up here. Um, it, it it's just the altcoins don't really know what they want to do yet, and Bitcoin's kind of seeing if they're gonna push it above 1 trillion, kind of just in my mind. Also, what could help Bitcoin go above it is if we do look right here, we do have a potential golden cross forming. As y'all know, I did make a video on week 1 about the Dow having that golden cross, and as you can see, 2 weeks later, we did go down, retest around that area, and we're kind of going on an uptrend again. So it'll be interesting if we can get past that local high, and if we do, then it will confirm, and well, hopefully we can get out of this tough time we have been since the start of the year, or start of 2022. Um, so that is something to take a look at in terms of Bitcoin. Now, what did give us this initial pump? Let's go ahead and take a look on what could have done that. If we do actually go ahead and bring the Dixie on top of our graph, the Dixie and the S&P, which we will talk about in a second on its own graph, because they all do correlate. As you can see here in the orange is the Dixie, and as we were going down, you could see the dollar getting stronger, which is expected. As that US dollar gets stronger, you can see people not wanting to be in assets. They kind of want to keep their money where it is and then start investing it in other stuff to hedge against inflation as that currency goes down. So unfortunately, I do think what could have happened if FTX didn't collapse, I think Bitcoin actually could have gone up here just due to the fact of that Dixie going down and the S&P was actually rising during this time. So I think there might have been an artificial pump back here to kind have try to save Sam, and then when we did have that crash, I think we could have had that pump, but unfortunately, with Sam losing $10 billion, well, yeah, that explains that. But as you see here, S&P is starting to go up at the start of the year. You see Bitcoin start to rise and set new local highs as the Dixie starts to crash. So the Dixie has an inverse relationship as that S&P has a positive correlation. And why I did want to highlight that for you is if we do look at them on their own graph, let's go ahead and look at the Dixie first. You see, after that fake out up, and now we had that crash, it's starting to level out, which could be a bad sign for Bitcoin, knowing that it needs a correction. We don't have that upward force of the Dixie collapsing and keep giving it momentum, which is why I did bring up that altcoin possibility. But if we do look at the S&P 500, which is all technology, which is why we might have saw a reason pushing out of the downtrend we're seeing right now. Because we did set a new lower low, but it wasn't as bad, and we did come up. We rejected off of that downtrend perfectly, and we came back down, but we did set a new higher high, and as you can see, we broke out of that downtrend line, and we're butting our head up against that new local high right now. So this is something to pay attention to with just the GDP information getting released, the CPI, the Fed funds. These could all be the perfect storm to get us out of this downtrend bear market and get us above local highs. Now, I do think this could be some inflated data because as you can see here, it does say GDP went up 2.9%, but typically we do see it go up pretty high during the last quarter just because the economy is flowing with people buying Christmas gifts, people going on planes, flying to see family, going out to eat with their family and things of that nature for the holiday. So I do think this is why we did see a potential increase in GDP. So definitely be careful for the information that will get released for quarter one. Also, I am a little skeptical on that unemployment data because I do think that could be artificially increased just because I do know a lot of those companies laid off a lot of people, but they left them on payroll so they could keep their benefits till the end of the year. So we'll be interested to see those numbers being updated within the next quarter as well. Now, let's go ahead and dive into what could possibly get the alts going to bring us above that 1 trillion market cap, because as you can see, the S&P might do it, but I did mention with the title, maybe the alts do it for us as well. So let's go ahead and look into that for y'all. And let's go first over the Cardano news because they are releasing a stable coin, and that will bring a lot of liquidity to this space. Now, it might not bring actual new money into the crypto world. It could just mean that more money won't leave Cardano. So this will be interesting to see how it relates to money moving from maybe different ecosystems into Cardano, as well as does it potentially bring more money into the actual digital asset world as well, because maybe Cardano holders didn't like Tether or USDC, so they just kept it in regular fiat rather than having it into a different stable coin or a different stable coin on a different ecosystem. So that is maybe something important to keep track of. Now also, I will be talking about this in a video on Tuesday, like I did mention, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And then also, I do want to point out that the XRP healthcare token that did just get announced in last quarter, but it's getting more traction now, could be another potential area where we get more money coming into the space. So, healthcare is billion-dollar, possibly trillion-dollar industry, and XRP is with this token is trying to make it more transparent, and they're also trying to give people a way to have a ledger for their earnings. So if you can see here, the issue at hand is one of the cases they're trying to solve is that with marijuana that is legal in states, they can't accept like credit cards and things of that nature for it. They have to accept cash. So the problem with that is it would be hard to keep on their balance sheets what all is going where and things of that nature. So the ledger and the XRP healthcare token would allow them to keep track of their money and have it stored online essentially, even though it's not on an ecosystem. Also, they're trying to solve fraudulent markets as well, not with just weed, but also other drugs that get counterfeited, maybe get laced with something. This would allow them to kind of, with the how NFT has who has actual ownership of it, this would also work in that way as well with just medicine. So maybe they have like a QR code, maybe a scan, so they can scan it as they go, kind of thing. So this would just definitely be an interesting white papers for y'all to look at, and could be a reason we get above that trillion-dollar market cap for Bitcoin to get to that next leg. I hope y'all did learn something today, because I do have one last closing statement before I let y'all go, and this is just about that Bitcoin's halving, because it does bring up a talking point of what will happen after the 2028 halving. Will we go up kind of like a traditional S&P market, like just up for a long period of time with some crashes, rather than how we have been seeing these 4-year cycles? Just because once we do reach that point, 98% of the total supply will be mined, compared to at least how we were moving some good percents before. Now, this will be an interesting talking point, so I will save it for another video for y'all. So I hope y'all did enjoy today's content. If you did like and learn something, please drop a like below, and I hope y'all can stay safe out there. But make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, and bye bye.